We are at Hellfest with Skálmöld. Let's go. Now guys, in some interviews and even Wikipedia, there is a line from you. We decided to make a metal band and record one album before we get old.
True.
Yep.
Yes.
This year Skálmöld turns 15.
Yeah.
You have 6 albums, exclude live ones.
Yeah.
Do you still have these thoughts about getting old, oldness?
Yeah, I mean, we are not in it for the money.
No.
But we are just in this because we truly love what we are doing. And I think with us as a band, we have always just taken it, year by year or month by month or whatever, and just try to get as much out of what we are doing as possible.
Okay.
And that being, enjoying it.
It kind of happened by accident back home because we did release the first album. So it was we have been best friends since we were like 12, and we have played in all the bands, and we always talked about this. It would be nice to make like one decent metal album.
Yeah.
And then we did that and released it, and it just became fucking huge back home in Iceland.
Yeah.
So that was the probably would say a happy accident, but still an accident. So this was never supposed to happen. We were literally just gonna release the album, maybe do some shows, and then see what happens. I mean, but all this that happened, no way, it was never supposed to happen.
But still it happened, and here we are now.
Yeah, and it's awesome.
And it's really great. It's great that you haven't stopped or something. Now, I know that you tell this almost in every interview, but I can do nothing with this. Now, you sing in Icelandic because it sounds better than English with the topics you sing about, or it just, we are the band from Iceland, we write stories in Iceland, so we will sing in Icelandic.
I think it's the second one. I mean, it kind of relates to what we were talking about before. We were just going to make this one album back home.
Okay.
And I write the lyrics, and I always write stuff in Icelandic because I'm Icelandic. And this was never supposed to be any international kind of thing in the beginning. So we started the band, and I did the first album in Icelandic. And there's never been a discussion of like turning back or like doing stuff in English. To be frank, I don't really know why we should do it because it's kind of how we stand out.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, people don't understand the lyrics. That can be a little bit like intimidating. But besides that, I don't know.
Yeah, and
you don't feel wrong.
And for us to seek inspiration in the mythology and the Icelandic sagas, to write the lyrics in a foreign language would be weird.
Yeah, that would feel.
And also we have done some cover songs which we have recorded for albums that are not sung in Icelandic, and it just, at least for me, I just feel uncomfortable doing it.
Like when you did the cover for Intro?
Yeah.
Okay. You didn't feel comfortable because you sing like in the other language that you are not regular to, or it's just not sound.
Yeah, at least for me, it just doesn't sound natural for me to sing in English.
And we did those covers. It was related to the release of our 4th album.
Okay.
So we had 3 albums of Icelandic singing. So maybe it was just strange because of that. Maybe if we started singing in English, I don't know.
Sure. I think it's just such a big part of the band now that.
Yeah, I totally understand. But anyway, your covers and songs in English, I personally I took it as some experiment. Like you experimented with something and said, okay, we are done. Now we go to the regular. Our regular music.
It wasn't really an experiment. We were just doing fun stuff. Mainly just doing covers of our French songs.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And maybe some songs that we like as well. Just some local humor in it as well. But it was never supposed to be anything more than just that.
Oh, okay, great. Let's talk about stories or sagas. I don't know. You tell me which word is better to use.
Depends on what you're referring to.
I referring to your songs.
Just stories.
Okay. How much is the character of storyteller the man who tells the story?
Like,
is he important?
The voice of the story.
Yes.
I mean, I think that's the key for me. Well, it's an interesting topic. I think it's a very for this concept that we have here, like a band telling stories. I don't think it's enough to have just cool ideas with what the story is about, because you have to like express some feelings within the story.
Okay.
That is when, for me at least, when the songs come to life. So the storyteller has to put something of himself in it and express what's going on, what one is feeling, not just tell everything on the surface what to see. So I would say very important. But for me at least.
But if he changed the story while he telling it, is it okay or it's not okay?
Are you talking about when I use the old like religionist stuff?
Okay.
No. When I'm using stuff that already exists, like in the Norse religion stuff, I try to weave around the stories and the myths, but I never tell so drastically changed stories that something is fundamentally changed.
Okay.
Like I would never kill Fenris Wolf, for example, because that's not my thing to do. That happens at a different time. But I try just to add to the stories, not change them.
All right, but that leads us to the next question. In the new album, you tell the story of the god Ur.
Yeah.
And there is no much information about him.
No.
Okay.
Which is very convenient for me, so I can say all sorts of shit.
Yeah, but you made a great story where you put also the dragon, the nuns, the Ratatoskar, and many more. And now it was convenient for you just because this god is not well known, like Droll, for example.
Yeah.
Okay, and how did you get to this story, to your story?
I just like to tell stories.
Okay.
It's just, I'm always coming up with something in my head. I play a lot of D&D, for example, Dungeons and Dragons, and I'm always coming up with like some adventures and short stories and long campaigns or something in between. So it's just like that. It's just, for me, it's just basic storytelling. And I'm just borrowing the characters from the religion.
I'm sorry for the question. You were also as the master of D&D?
Both.
Okay, so you are great in storytelling, yes.
Exactly. Yeah, I like it very much.
And also, I read in some interviews that the story was particularly inspired by God of War.
God of War, yeah. Absolutely.
Is it true?
Yeah, it's true. I was just playing God of War and there was some kind of wood he's using, the yew wood, and that kind of connects to stuff we have back home. So that's a longer story. Well, then I was just like, that's interesting. And then it's just like Google some stuff and read some stories and stuff, and I was just like, yeah, that works. When I was totally that, I was just playing God of War, and I'm gonna fucking steal that.
Oh, so that's great. It's not stealing, it's
not stealing. Yeah. It's just inspiration.
I know also that there are a lot of genres in Icelandic sagas.
Yeah.
Like there's king sagas and like legendary sagas, many more. In these terms, Skálmöld songs are which sagas?
We don't really touch so much on the sagas. It's way more just based on the Norse religion, not so much the sagas themselves. We have never really done that. But
No.
should we?
Yeah. Definitely.
You have mentioned that before. Yeah, maybe you should.
Okay. Now, as I noticed this, it was my first show with Skálmöld. You all sing. Okay. How you delegate? How do you decide to which part one sing with what? Like you sing, you as a main singer. You also sing. You sing.
Yeah.
How do you decide which one? Who sing which one?
Well, that's actually a part of when we are writing the music, and we are talking to him about the lyrics, and he's asking us about what we think about what he's writing about. And for instance, for the last album, we knew that there would be the three Nornir, not three Norns. So somebody said we should have Jón, drummer, sing, and on the album we should have Gunnar the keyboard player has been singing on every album, I think, quite a lot. And Baldur, of course, is actually a character in our in our group. We call him the farmer on the next
The farmer?
farm, yeah,
Okay.
screaming all the time. So we kind of for this album we said, we need Gunnar to be more involved. It just happens actually, and then of course everybody sings the choirs.
In this album, the father of your father,
Yes.
singing.
Yeah.
Yes. How did he do it?
Well, when before we recorded the first album,
Okay.
we did 2 demos, and he was in town when we were doing the demos,
Okay.
and he visited us in the studio, and we had him sing on the demos, and then it was just the demos were just demos to find out how it would sound. So we then went to a proper studio to record the album, and he was not available to come to record the album.
Okay.
We didn't think too much of it, but it was always in the back of our mind that it would be cool that he would sing on an album, and it just fitted quite well for this.
That was fun. That was awesome.
Yeah, because in an album it just was the song with the feet and the name, and then you realize that it's actually your father.
Yeah.
Like I realized it, I was like, well, it is great because, like, I don't know, my father would never agree to do something like this.
No, I mean he's always been very supportive, but he is old school,
Ah, okay.
and
Yeah, we can hear that.
and it took some. We had to persuade him to kind of let go of the classical elements of, like, he wanted to do it again and again and again. But we said this is what we need, and even if it wasn't my father, I think the sound of his voice adds something really cool to because we are always singing. You can hear us in every song, the choirs, and then we have just this voice for a short period of time. It's just a color that kind of.
Yeah,
Super cool.
yeah, but it sounds great and it fits great to music suddenly. Actually, suddenly. I'm sorry we are short of time, so the last question. Well, I know that Northern mythology and it's your heritage, and it's extremely important for Iceland people. But somehow Northern mythology is also a part of pop culture right now. Like everybody thinks to Marvel and maybe I don't know, Wagner. Maybe that's the know about Odin, Thor, but I don't know. These people maybe never took an Elder Edda book. Never read it. Don't you feel offended with?
No.
Oh, that's fucking cool, man.
Ah,
Those are just awesome stories, and everyone should use them as they feel. If they just, it's just a matter of like the basic respect, and I think that has never been a problem.
And
I mean, I love the comic thing and the Marvel thing. And it's just,
yeah, and the thing, for those people who, watch the movies and stuff and hear about those characters who they might have never heard of before, some of them might actually go and do some more research.
Okay.
So
And even write more stories about them.
So how is that bad?
it's just awesome.
Okay.
I love it.
Great answers. Thank you very much, guys.
Sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
It was great to have you.
Damn it.
Bye.